Welcome to Thoroughbred Action from Gulfstream Park. I'm your host, Ron Nicoletti. It is a fantastic day here Saturday, and we are in a fantastic restaurant, Il Gusto, in the village of Gulfstream Park. Some of the greatest food here. We'll talk more about this place later because we got to get right to those track and weather conditions. The main track fast, the turf course firm. The first race, 7 1/2 furlongs on the turf. These are claimers, fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. There's going to be 11 runners going to the post.
They're off. And it's a good start for Skirts on Fire, who goes out to lead them early on. Summers back from that far outside post is prominent early, too, as the field makes their way for the first turn. Then it's Twist and Bake and Storm Swept going up in between horses moving into the turn. Reagan's Odyssey next on the outside, then Summer Valentine, GP Ricky, and Sartorian. Break of 2 back to Julissa, who is third last early on ahead of Rinkatape and Image of Rachel. So they move on to the backstretch, where the leader is Skirts on Fire. Skirts on Fire on top by 1.5 lengths. Summers back on the outside, second at 23 flat opening quarter mile. And then it's Twist and Bake in third, Storm Swept fourth between horses. Reagan's Odyssey is fifth and outside of them. And then it's Sartorian. Summer Valentine bottled up behind horses down on the inside, 4.5 lengths off the lead, just ahead of GP Ricky. Julisa's next, and then Image of Rachel getting going, and Rinkatape at the back of the field. They move into the far turn. And it is Skirts on Fire through a 47 flat half mile. The lead is 1.5 lengths as Storm Swept gets going now and sets sail after the pacemaker, now just a 1/2 length behind. Then Sartorian moving around Reagan's Odyssey. Julissa is circling up with speed on the far outside. Summers back saves all the ground on the turn, and then comes Image of Rachel and GP Ricky, and Storm Swept has taken the lead. They're into the stretch with Storm Swept now in front. And Skirts on Fire tries to battle on from second. And then it's Julissa third, followed by Image of Rachel, who's gaining a bit of ground down on the inside. Then it's GP Ricky, Storm Swept, and Tyler Gaffleone coming home a winner. Storm Swept to beat Julissa, and then came Image of Rachel, followed by Skirts on Fire and GP Ricky.
Number 7, Storm Swept, wins the opener and pays $7 even, owned by Whisper Hill Farm LLC, trained by Ralph Nix and ridden to victory today by Tyler Gaffleone. Race 2 is a 1-mile claiming event for 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races. We have 11 runners in this field.
They're off. Party Crasher on the far outside out of there well. Showing speed is Warrior's Instinct between those two, Go-Go Romeo, and down on the inside, I Believe I Can is now sent along. Now I Believe I Can is going to go up and challenge the lead from the inside of Go-Go Romeo as the field races out of the chute, but Go-Go Romeo is going to grab the lead now. It is Go-Go Romeo, and on the outside, Super Zapper. These are the two that head them up the backstretch. I Believe I Can, taken back off of them, 2.5 lengths off the lead after a 23-3 opening quarter mile. And then comes Party Crasher to the outside. Warrior Instinct along the rail is next. Break up another 3 to Left Coast Pure Ghost, then Bluegrass Tango and Steve Areno. 5 lengths more back to Popcorn Kitten, who races just ahead of My Beholder and Diamonds and Gold. So Super Zapper takes over after a 47 flat half mile, opens up the lead by 2. I Believe I Can moving up in second. That's all for Go-Go Romeo, who's dropped out of it on the inside. Party Crasher takes third. Warrior's Instinct is up into fourth. Steve Areno's trying to mount a rally on the far outside, about 7 lengths behind as they come toward the quarter pole, where Super Zapper is joined by I Believe I Can. I Believe I Can now taking the lead. Warrior's Instinct on the charge on the outside. Party Crasher is coming wide. Steve Areno's in the center of the track, and Left Coast Pyrgos is trying to make a move up the rail, and they still have to catch I Believe I Can. I Believe I Can holds on to the lead here, opening up by 3. And then Warrior's Instinct and Steve Areno, who's still closing on the outside. I Believe I Can. Steve Areno's going to make it close, and look like Steve Areno might have gotten there. Outside of I Believe I Can. And then it was Warrior's Instinct, Left Coast Pyrgos, and Super Zapper.
Number 3, Steve Areno closes from far back to score, gets the photo, and pays $13.80, owned by Laurie and George Hall, trained by Kelly Breen, and ridden to victory today by apprentice Vincenti Gudiel. We'll take a short break. We'll be back for race number 3. Welcome back. Our third race of the afternoon, a 6-furlong claiming event for 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. We have a jockey change on the 4. Make the rider Jose Alvarez.
They're off. Bit of a bobble by Renombre coming out of there, but he's going to take the early lead from the inside. Acapulquito is away running in second, and then it's off-duty third between those two. After that, Conspiracy again, followed by El Kraken, and then it's Walk Away Slow, Love Rules All, and General Shama trails the field. So they're moving up the backstretch with Renombre in front by just a neck over off-duty. These two complete the opening quarter mile in 22 and 3/5 seconds, and they're right together on the lead. Acapulquito, 2 lengths off of them with El Kraken closing through and now taking third from the rail. Then Conspiracy again, Love Rules All, Walk Away Slows taking the outside route with 5 lengths to make up. The trailer is General Shama, and now Off Duty and Renombre are right together, and they're about to be joined on the lead by El Kraken and Love Rules All, who's circling up on the far outside, and now 4 of them are right together at the top of the stretch. Off Duty, Renombre, outside of them El Kraken, Love Rules All down the center of the track, El Kraken to the front. El Kraken has taken the lead as they come into the final furlong. Renombre to the inside, battling on, and then it's Off Duty and Love Rules All on the far outside. El Kraken and Renombre. It is El Kraken to win it. And then a 3-way photo among Off Duty, Renombre, and Love Rules All. 5th was Conspiracy again.
Number 5, El Kraken gets the victory for Barbara Hopkins. The trainer is Ramon Moya, and ridden the victory by Elvis. Thank you very much. Trujillo. The 4th race, the feature event of the afternoon. It's the 30th running of the Grade 2, the Royal Delta, $200,000 guaranteed. Scratch number 1. Call Pat.
They're off in the Royal Delta, and not a good start at all for Sandiva, who is off very slowly. It is Penwith and Best Behavior who come out running on the lead. And on their inside, Gambler's Rose is close up too, but will settle back off the pace and sit third early on. Then Enchantress, and Sandiva is going to go up alongside of her after her slow beginning. And Sandiva now making her way up into 4th and heading for 3rd around that first turn. Best Behavior leading Penwith early on in the run to the backstretch. Best Behavior 3/4 of a length in front. Penwith is 2nd, and Sandiva is now 3rd on the outside, and she's 2 lengths off the lead. Then it's Gambler's Rose and Enchantress last, 3 lengths from top to bottom, and a 23 and 3 first quarter. So they race on to the backstretch here, where the leader is Best Behavior, and Penwith continues to press on the outside. They're a neck apart halfway up the backstretch. Sandiva is 3rd right behind them. Then comes Enchantress, and Gambler's Rose, trying to keep up with the field, is last as the field enters the far turn. And it is Best Behavior ahead in front now. On the outside, Penwith, the 47 1/2 mile. Sandiva's just behind them, now being pushed on to go in 3rd, a length and a half off the lead. Clear of Enchantress, and the trailer is Gambler's Rose. Around the far turn, and Penwith is now the leader by a half a length. Best Behavior under a full-out drive 2nd. Sandiva with work to do is 2 lengths off the lead. They've left the others behind. They're coming to the top of the stretch with Penwith in charge. Penwith and Luis Saez turn for home in front in the Royal Delta. Sandiva 2nd, trying to make a late run. And then it's Best Behavior in 3rd as they come into the final 16th. Penwith is in control. Penwith has won the Royal Delta from Sandiva. And then it was Best Behavior, followed by Gambler's Rose.
Number 4, Penwith wins the Royal Delta and pays $8.80. Owned by Godolphin Racing LLC. Trained by Kieran McLaughlin. Ridden to victory today by Luis Saez. Fifth race on the turf, 7.5 furlongs, an allowance optional claimer. Fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward. Scratch the 10, scratch the number 11.
They're off. And it is Soki on the inside out for the lead. Share the Music came out well. Tusunka behind them, away running in third position, followed by Rejoiceful and Claiming Victory to the outside. Then Wild About Jazz, followed by Loom, who's just to the outside, 5.5 lengths off the lead, and ahead of Gato del Cielo. Moonlit Sonnet, a step slow to start, is at the back of the field and racing about 8 lengths off the lead. The leader is Soki. Soki will take them onto the backstretch in front by 1/2 length. Share the Music on the outside runs along in second position, and they're followed by Rejoiceful on the outside of Tusunka, who has the rail. Claiming Victory is fifth after a 23 and 3 opening quarter mile, and right behind them Wild About Jazz and Loom, and then it's Gato del Cielo. The trailer up the backstretch is Moonlit Sonnet. And now 7 lengths from top to bottom, with Soki going at it with Share the Music up front. These two now stride for stride on the lead, moving for the turn. Rejoiceful is third. Tusunka fourth on the inside of Claiming Victory. And then it's Loom. Wild About Jazz is at the rail, 4.5 lengths off the lead, making their way around the far turn. And then Gato del Cielo, and the trailer is still Moonlit Sonnet. The half was 47 and 3 around the far turn. Still Soki and Share the Music side by side. These two will turn for home together. On their outside, Claiming Victory, trying to close the gap. Tusunka's right behind them. Then Wild About Jazz. Loom on the outside and Moonlit Sonnet. Furlong to go. It is Soki. Tusunka coming up the rail. Share the Music, and on the outside, Claiming Victory and Wild About Jazz. They're coming down to the line. Soki Claiming Victory. Soki wins it. Claiming Victory was second, and then a photo between Tusunka and Wild About Jazz. Share the Music was fifth.
Number 2, Suki crosses the wire first, but is disqualified and placed third. Put up the first was number 9, Claiming Victory, pays $11 even, owned by Cross Sabres Farm LLC, trained by Marcus Vitale, ridden to victory today by Nick Suarez. The 6th race, a 7-furlong main event for 3-year-olds. We have 9 runners in this field.
They're off. And it's Drop Shot and Prove who come out the best. Meddling By is now going up on their outside. And right there, too, is Star Hill, who's away running in fourth by another 2. Then Tale of Mist, break of another 3.5 to Casa Gordo, and they're being followed by Stone. And then it's Happy Match and Lucky Warrior. And the field moving up the backstretch with a long shot in front. Meddling By at 90-1 leads the field up the backstretch 3/4 of a length. Drop Shot is running in second position, and then it's Proof third to the outside through a 22 and 4 opening quarter mile. Tale of Mist is fourth and down on the inside, 3 lengths off the lead as they move for the far turn, and then it's Star Hill to the outside. 2.5 lengths more back to Stone. Casa Gordo was next. Happy Match and Lucky Warrior, and that's all for Meddling By. And now there goes Star Hill on the outside, up to engage front-running Prove. Star Hill Prove on the inside, Drop Shots under a full-out drive in third as Star Hill starts to get away. A half mile in 46 and 3. They're into the stretch, and it is Star Hill who has opened up to lead by 3 now. Then it's Drop Shot, Prove, and to the outside comes Stone, followed by Tale of Mist. But it's all Star Hill here. Star Hill and Amicio Jaramillo all alone and finishing well under the wire, winning it by 7 lengths over Drop Shot. And then it was Prove, followed by Stone and Tale of Mist.
Number 8, Star Hill. Boy, what a nice horse. Wins and pays $10 even, owned by Calumet Farm, trained by Rusty Arnold, ridden to victory today by Amicio Jaramillo. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back for race number 7 in just a couple of moments.
Our day begins early, preparing for the task ahead, focused on a single goal. Then, it's showtime, ready to face another challenge. And while victory may be uncertain, you can always bet on us to be at our very best.
Welcome back for our 7th race, 5 furlongs on the turf. It's a maiden event for filly 3-year-old, scratch number 3, Sweet Summer Sweat. Also scratch number 14, Vicia.
They're off. Lupo's Way broke well, so too Gold Tinker, and through on the inside it's Vista Creek. Blossomed in Time goes up with them to make it 4 in a line. Then Sky My Sky outrunning in 5th. Lady Liddy is 6th, followed by Shopping for Silver and Thanks to Life on the outside. And then it's back to Sweet Tapper. Silk Tail is next. And then American Kiki. The trailer is Alma Llanera. And now the field racing for the far turn with Vista Creek the leader, 3/4 of a length. Gold Tinker on the outside runs in 2nd. Blossomed in Time is 3rd at the rail after a 22 flat first quarter. Then it's Lupo's Way in 4th. Sky My Sky 5th in behind them, and then Sweet Tapper to the inside. Shopping for Silver, a wide Thanks to Life is next, and they're into the stretch. It's Vista Creek and Gold Tinker. These two come to the final furlong. Gold Tinker to the front. Gold Tinker has taken the lead from Vista Creek as Sky My Sky tries to close in with Blossomed in Time. It is Gold Tinker and Sky My Sky, then Blossomed in Time. Gold Tinker to win it. Sky My Sky 2nd, then Blossomed in Time, Sweet Tapper and Vista Creek.
Number 12, a first-time starter, very impressive, winning from that outside post. That's Gold Tinker, pays $8.20, owned by Cole Next Stables, LLC, trained by Alan Goldberg, and ridden to victory today by Joel Rosario. The 8th race, a 6 furlong maiden claiming event for 4-year-olds in Upward, scratch number 1, Upperton. Note the jockey on the 2 is Mario Fernandez.
They're off. Key the Storm broke very well. In between horses, Indie Artist, Go P to Go is there. And then it's Red Hot Ralph away running in 4th. Go Salvatore Go is 5th. Roy Ayres 6th up the backstretch. Then it's Hat Trick's Victory. Wise Patriot to the outside. Ode to Joe is next. And then back to Il Diavolo toward the inside as they continue up the backstretch. Burning Wild is in between horses, then Wild and Sergeant Thompson. And they're moving for the turn with a long shot leader here. Key the Storm in front through a 23 flat opening quarter mile. On top by a length over Red Hot Ralph, 2nd on the outside. Go Salvatore Go is 3rd, and then it's Indie Artist, followed by Go P to Go to the inside. Burning Wild and Hat Trick's Victory after that, and then Wild, Wise Patriot, and Ode to Joe, and a new leader here as Red Hot Ralph takes over, coming to the top of the stretch. Red Hot Ralph now in front after a 47 flat half mile, turning for home in front of Go Salvatore Go. Indie Artist is now up into 2nd, and trying to come and get the favorite here with a furlong to go. It is Red Hot Ralph in front. And now switching paths to the outside is Indie Artist as they come down to the final 16th. Red Hot Ralph and Indie Artist, and it is Red Hot Ralph and Indie Artist. Red Hot Ralph holds on over Indie Artist, then Go P to Go, followed by Burning Wild and Go Salvatore Go.
The big favorite, number 10, Red Hot Ralph, wins, pays $3.80, owned by John Prete, trained by Dave Fawkes, and that gives jockey Luis Saez his 2nd victory on today's card. The 9th race, 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf. It's an allowance optional claimer for 4-year-olds and upward. 12 runners in the field. The off-time favorite, number 8, Grand Tito.
They're off. Good start by With Rhythm from the inside, who comes out running alongside of Spitesland. There goes Grand Tito and English Minister into the mix too. Fredericksburg is next, and then Super Fast on the far outside, followed by Money Tucker, who's down toward the rail and moving up now as they continue their way toward the first turn. And then it's My Point Exactly. Can't Help Believing on the outside. Seen it all before in Green Grass of Wyoming, and way back here is Aldous Snow trailing the field. English Minister emerging up top here. Opening quarter posted in 22 2/5 seconds. And the lead is a length and a half over Grand Tito running in 2nd. Then it's Spitesland 3rd to the inside. Super Fast follows in 4th. After that it's With Rhythm. My Point Exactly on the inside. Money Tucker behind them, and then Fredericksburg. On the inside, Seen It All Before is about 6 lengths off the lead right now. And then it's Can't Help Believing, being tracked by Green Grass of Wyoming, and Aldous Snow is way behind the field after a 46 and 3/2 mile. English Minister leads Grand Tito by 3/4 of a length in the run to the far turn. Spitesland is behind them, running in third on the inside. With Rhythm follows in fourth. And then starting to move up is Green Grass of Wyoming on the outside of Can't Help Believing. These two going together on the turn, both wide. After that, My Point Exactly, Money Talker to the outside, Fredericksburg, and Seen It All Before. And they're into the stretch. English Minister is turning for home with the lead. Grand Tito's trying to come and get him now. Grand Tito and English Minister. Behind them comes Spitesland third on the inside. And then comes Help Believing. Green Grass of Wyoming on the far outside is finishing well. Grand Tito to catch as they come down to the line. And Grand Tito has won it. And then it was Can't Help Believing, followed by a photo with Fredericksburg, Green Grass of Wyoming, and English Minister.
Number 8, Grand Tito. Nice comeback. Wins it for Grupo 7C Racing Stable, trained by Gustavo Delgado and Equus jockey Emiciel Jaramillo. His second victory on the card. The 10th race, 1 mile and 1/8 on the turf. It's a claimer for 4-year-olds and upward. Scratch also eligibles 13, 14, and 15.
They're off. Silent Admirer came out well. There goes Smooth Stone to grab the lead, though. Smooth Stone to the front. Royal Blessing on the outside moves up into second. Silent Admirer taken hard in hand to sit third early. Out of the depths goes up in fourth. March Reward is fifth on the outside. Then it's Saffron Hall alongside of One More Cat. And right in behind them comes Hudson Miracle. Powerful Instinct is down on the inside as they make their way around that turn. Then Colorado Daydream, who's alongside of In My Father's Image. And the early trailer is Wando Boy Slew. 23-1 was the first quarter as they race on to the backstretch. Smooth Stone leads the way. On top by almost 2 lengths over Royal Blessing in second. Silent Admirer third to the inside. March Reward follows in fourth. Racing outside of those two, 2.5 lengths off the lead and just clear of Out of the Depths and One More Cat. Then Powerful Instinct, Saffron Hall between horses. Hudson Miracle on the outside. Colorado Daydream's got 9 lengths to make up at this stage, and then comes In My Father's Image and Wando Boy Slew. 47-3 was the half-mile time for Smooth Stone and Emiciel Jaramillo, who lead the field into the far turn by 1.5 lengths over Royal Blessing. And then comes March Reward running in third on the outside. Silent Admirer follows in fourth. One More Cat being asked to run fifth and going up there 3 wide. And right in behind them is Saffron Hall circling the field. Powerful Instinct saves all the ground. The others have work to do. Coming to the top of the stretch, 3/4, 1:11-1. And it is Smooth Stone, Royal Blessing to the outside. Behind them, Silent Admirer finding a spot through on the inside, trying to squeeze through that opening there. Farther out comes One More Cat and Saffron Hall on the far outside. Silent Admirer coming up on the rail. Silent Admirer on the inside gets up to win over Smooth Stone. And then it was Saffron Hall followed by Royal Blessing and One More Cat.
Number 5, Silent Admirer slips through a little hole on the inside and wins it. Luca Panici picked up the mount and scores. The horse paid $13.80, owned by DJ Stable LLC and Joe Orsino, and trained by Joe Orsino.
They're off in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Welcome back. Our 11th race in the first half of the late daily double is a 5-furlong turf event allowance optional claimer for 4-year-olds and upward. The jockey on the 11 is Carlos Olivero. Scratch number 13, Scam.
They're off. Lakota Warrior with a good start. On the inside, it's Moonshine Sipper sent up to take the lead. Moonshine Sipper will be the pacemaker. And then it's Lakota Warrior running in second up the backstretch. Nito now moving up on the far outside. Deterrent is right up there, too. And then it's 5 Wars. Dr. J-Dub in the early mix as well. 1.5 lengths back to Decent, 2 races to the inside of Polar Axis, moving for the far turn. One Lucky Step is next. And then comes East Rock on the inside, Colonel Red, and Moon River at the back. 21 flat was the first quarter. quarter. Around the far turn, Deterrent and Lakota Warrior. Now these two taken on the outside by Dr. J. Dub. The three of them will come to the top of the stretch with 5 Wars behind them, running in 4th position. On the far outside, One Lucky Step trying to gain some ground. Polar Axis in behind them. Decent is now closing through an opening on the inside. Here comes Decent up the rail. One Lucky Step on the outside. One Lucky Step to the front. One Lucky Step from Decent and Dr. J. Dub. One Lucky Step did it. Decent second. Then Dr. J. Dub, East Rock, and Polar Axis.
Number 7, One Lucky Steps brings the upset pace. $32 even, owned by Winning Stable Incorporated, trained by Mary Bennett, ridden to victory today by Paco Lopez. The 12th race, 1 mile on the turf. It's a maiden event for 3-year-olds, scratch 13, 14, 15, and 16. The jockey on the 11 is Eddie Castro.
They're off. Wathnon had a bit of an awkward beginning there. T and Cricket is going out to lead them early. Grandanuco's got some speed too. And just to the outside of them, it's Sir Dudley Diggs. So these three will take him into that first turn, and Wathnon goes very wide there. It's been a rough trip so far for Wathnon as they make their way around that first turn. Not a chance is up running in 4th to the outside. Saving all the ground there is Dero D, who's racing 6 lengths off the lead to the backstretch. Then Stormy O'Prato, followed by Abbott to the outside. Then it's Conquest Stormy. Wathnon is next, and just ahead of Arctic Causeway, Reba Causeway, and Arctic Joy, and then the trailer is Blame the Caddy. The first quarter was in 23-1, and they're moving on to the backstretch. And it is T and Cricket on top at 99-1, heading up the backstretch in the clear by a length and a half over Grandanuco and Sir Dudley Diggs. Not a chance follows in 4th, moving for the far turn. And then it's Classy O'Prato on the inside, about 5 lengths off the lead. Abbott is next. Wathnon is sent along outside of them, 6 lengths off the lead. Then Conquest Stormy, followed by Arctic Joy, who's moving up on the outside within 7 lengths of the lead. And then it's Dero D. Reba Causeway is next, and Blame the Caddy at the back of the pack. And they're catching up to T and Cricket now after a 48 1/2 mile, losing the lead to Not a Chance. Not a Chance on the outside is taken over. Sir Dudley Diggs battles on from the inside, and trying to close through with the rail is Classy O'Prato. In the meanwhile, here comes Abbott. Abbott is on the move on the far outside. Here comes Abbott after Sir Dudley Diggs, these two, and Abbott got there in time over Sir Dudley Diggs. And then it was Conquest Stormy, followed by Arctic Joy. Not a Chance was 5th.
Hey, Abbott. Number 10, Abbott wins the finale and pays $16 even, owned by Stone Farm, trained by Christopher Clement, and that gives jockey Joel Rosario his second win today. In the pick 5, 5 of 5, $11,606.65, 4 of 5, $78.25. In the Rainbow 6, couple of tickets, $18,218.44. The carryover going into Sunday, $951,417.31. They nailed the super high 5. It paid $4,881.70. And that wraps up Saturday's card. We're going to be right back here on Sunday with another 12 races and a special holiday card on Monday, President's Day. 12 races, a lot of overnight stakes. It's going to be a lot of fun. And once again, this place here, El Gusto, if you come to the village at Gulfstream Park, you got to try it. The food is fantastic. Good night and good luck.